could win.
Now we are all good to go. We are recording. We have everything ready to go here. And so, yeah, I think we are ready to talk about this movie. So, guys, I just saw Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and I really believe that this movie, it's going to be a crux for most of Marvel's fans. I want to go ahead and say that we will be talking about spoilers here. So, be warned, if you haven't seen the movie, go check it out if you want to first, or if you don't want to go check it out and you just want to hear my thoughts and opinions on the film, feel free to stick around and support the channel. We are trying to get those watch hours up. Yeah, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this movie review. So starting off with Paul Rudd, I feel like I can watch an entire movie about just his character, Scott Lang, walking down the streets of San Francisco and just being in his mind, hearing what he has to say about the world. I thought that was fantastic. The rest of the movie, it was just a CGI cluster. It was just a mess. I was just very uninspired. So another major character in this movie would be Cassie Lang, Scott Lang's daughter. And I want to say they recasted her from Endgame, or was she in Infinity War? One of those movies. I think that they got an actor for her in one of those movies, and I believe that this is a different actor here, but that's not to say that she didn't do a good job. I think she did an amazing job. Even before I went to go see this movie, I saw an interview with her. Apparently she's a big golfer, and just her personality, her charm, it was all there. I was really excited to see her here in the movie, but she just wasn't also given a lot to do. Cassie, she's actually like the focal point of this whole movie, and yet she's like really shoved aside to the background. Cassie ends up building the satellite that sends a signal down to the quantum realm. The people in the quantum realm see it, mostly Kang. He sees it and he's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and suck the whole Lang family down into the quantum realm, and boom, that's the movie. And starting there, that's when I think the movie just gets incredibly overly wacky. It was to the point to where I actually thought that Marvel hired the Rick and Morty crew to come and write this movie. Nothing's really built up in this movie, and a lot of that is what really detracts for me in this entire film. Some of Kang's powers, it's like, oh, Kang can do that. Oh, Kang can now do that. Oh, Kang can now do all. Okay, are we just giving him whatever power he wants in the given situation? And I mean, we had a whole TV show with Loki season 1 to kind of give way for all that information to even come into light in the first place. But I guess, you know, we're just gonna go with it. Yeah, Kang is just overly OP. He's OP. Yeah, Kang, he's OP. And then the actor himself, Jonathan Majors, I think he did a pretty good job. Nothing really stuck out to me that much, just because Kang felt like another pretty bland MCU villain. Even by the end credits, which there is a post-credit scene and an end credit scene, it's like, I guess this is happening now with Kang. Let's just go with it, I guess. We're going into Loki season 2. So now I want to go ahead and talk about the special effects in this movie. As you may know, Marvel has been having a few issues with their special effects, as in they just have not been good. When this movie shines, it shines, but it just, I'd say probably 80% of this movie, maybe even almost, I don't know if I should say 90, but 80% of the movie at least, it's definitely missing. The effects just don't hit. There's this character named MODOK. Yeah, MODOK. I don't really know a lot about him, so I know a lot of people are let down by his character, but I mean, personally, I don't really know him. I know he has a TV show, but they based him off of Yellow Jacket from the first Ant-Man. Don't know if that's canon or not, but thought it was strange, and I personally thought it was a very weird choice that they went ahead and did that. But that wasn't my big issue with his character. My issue with his character was his face. Now, his face is supposed to be big. I understand that. But the fact that his face, like, the resolution, it didn't, like, match the rest of his body. It was bad. It was so bad. There's a scene specifically where I remember Scott doing a little impromptu training with his daughter because, you know, they're being attacked in Quantumania, and he's like, you got a jump punch or punch jump or whatever it is. And you see Cassie shrunken down, running, and the frame rate just drops. She looks like a lagging video game character. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a Marvel movie, right? Like, millions of dollars was probably spent on this movie. It seemed like it was so cheaply made. And a lot of these scenes, they distracted me from the movie. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I wasn't a fan of this movie. At the core of things, Paul Rudd, his character, the family ties, seeing the family interact, even at the end, eating, a birthday dinner together, even though it wasn't technically his daughter's birthday. Just those like little funny, charming scenes were the best parts of the movie. And I honestly just kind of wish we got a more like slice of life Ant-Man movie. I think that actually might be why I just don't resonate with the film, because I love me some small scale storytelling without the big blue beam in the sky. And this movie is basically just a million blue beams in the sky. I feel like I'm talking so negatively about this movie, and I really don't want to, guys. I want to love this movie, and there's just not a lot for me to pick out from here. But that being said, there's just one more thing I want to talk about negatively that I want to talk about, and that was some of the writing from Michelle Pfeiffer's character, Hope's mom. It was just pretty generically bad. It's like she's like in the middle of finishing a sentence, but she just can't get there. And if she had finished that sentence, everything would have probably been, right as day. But I swear there's lines in this movie where Michelle Pfeiffer is basically saying like, it's him, or oh no, if only he wasn't here. Or, it's like, who is this he guy? It's like, clearly the audience knows it's Kang. They're trying to build up Kang as a character to say, hey, he's a menace. He's scary. He's a bad guy for a reason. And they don't tell you until later. They don't show you until later, I should say, because I think they do a really good job at showing that scene. But throughout the whole buildup and letting Scott and Cassie and Hank and just Hope and letting them all know about this character. And if they had known all of this prior to certain events, they would have been a little bit more capable of not only handling themselves, but making the story better. But yeah, guys, Marvel is going in a direction that I don't like. I feel like they're just stretching out their resources to make all of these shows, make a bunch of movies, and I would be fine if we went back to having 2 to 3 movies a year in the movie theater. Probably just 2, even 1. But anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Thought it was an okay movie. Nothing I would really recommend to you guys. Even if you guys are big Marvel fans, I would say doesn't really do any of your characters justice. In fact, if you are a Marvel fan, you're probably going to walk out of this movie thinking, wow, that was pretty bad. But as your general movie-going fanatic, I thought the movie was just A-okay. I'm not looking forward to the next Marvel property. But guys, I just want to express again how terribly sorry I am about how negative this review is. I've just been thinking to myself, what is positive about this movie? But I don't think that movie reviewers should praise something that's bad, because then we'd consistently get bad movies. And I've been just thinking to myself, how do I do movie reviews? Because I want to stay positive. I want to make a positive community. But it's just, I don't know. It's a tight rope to walk. But again, that's going to go ahead and do it for my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, hit subscribe. Also, hit the like button. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the movie, or are you going to go see the movie? I'm interested to hear what you guys think about the Marvel universe, where it's at right now, because I'm a little concerned. But yeah, with all that said, all the YouTube dragging out of the way, my name's Austin, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.
I'm sorry, Cassie.